And for more on this story, I'm joined by Dr. Ely Karmon, senior researcher at the Institute for Counter-Terrorism at Iranian University. Thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Good morning.
Firstly, break down for our viewers where Iran's nuclear enrichment stands at this time and what 23 times over the limit means in practical terms.
I think there are very serious signs that there is some kind of secret diplomatic decision by the United States to go to a new nuclear deal, some kind of light nuclear deal, because in March, General Milley, which is the head of Chief of Staff of the United States Army, has declared in a testimony in the Congress that perhaps the United States is ready to accept not a nuclear Iran, but a non-fielded nuclear weapon, which means that actually the administration has decided that it is ready to accept nuclear Iran, but not a nuclear Iran that is using its weapons on the field. The second is these negotiations in the IAEA, in the next board of the governors, and the decision to close the investigation of the Marivan site is not so important because there are two other sites that continue to be under monitoring, and Iran has accepted also other kind of monitoring cameras in some places. But there is another issue because there is an issue of Iranian terrorism. And I think that the Iranians have now some cards against European members of the board of governors. For instance, France has seen liberated two hostages lately after a shameful deal by Belgium, which liberated an intelligence officer. Germany also has people arrested in Iran. So what's very interesting is that the Iranians liberated the two French hostages without any condition, but there are still four hostages in the hands of the Iranians. So my impression is that they use this in order to press the Europeans in case they have to vote in the board of governors together with the United States, and probably find some kind of continuation of the diplomatic efforts without endangering the Iranian program really.
And as you alluded to there, U.S. efforts to revive the Iran nuclear deal have stalled. There's reports of talks behind the scenes of an intermediary deal through Qatar. What more can you tell us about that?
Exactly. This is the rumors that I think have now indications in the behavior of the various players before the board of governors. And by the way, generally it was Oman that was the go-between, the mediator. And in the case of the European or Belgian-Iranian deal, also Oman was involved. I think this Oman is more, I think, fitted for the negotiations from the point of view of the Americans, which have already the experience of the 2015 agreement, the JCPOA, which was mediated through Oman. And again, I think that what we see the last days in the what is called the hostage diplomacy of Iran is also involving the nuclear deal, because this is a way of pressure from Iran against the European countries, which are very, very busy now with the Ukrainian war and not so much with the nuclear program of Iran.
And I want to ask you, this intermediary deal, potentially, how concerning could this be for Israel?
The JCPOA deal already was very difficult to be accepted by Israel, and it accepted, and then the president cooperated with the United States to cancel its participation in the deal. But for most of the experts, it was a better solution than no solution. And we see how Iran has advanced its project in several months, less than a year. And according to the information of the experts, they can produce perhaps 12 bombs, and 2 bombs already they have sufficient enriched uranium. And according to, I think, to the General Milley, in 6 to 8 months, perhaps they can have a military head to the missiles. military nuclear head. So we are very close to a very decisive moment when Israel has to decide what to do. And this is exactly when our prime minister is not invited to Washington. He does not cooperate, or does not negotiate directly with the president as it should be. And so I would say that politically and also diplomatically, we are in a very weak position. Although I think there was a decision to protest at the IAEA, the decision to stop the monitoring of the Marivan site.
Dr. Ely Karmon, thank you very much for providing us with your insight this morning.
Thank you very much.